So this video is about how I make dank meme-like content or thumbnails and why I do it.
Nintendo.
What is going on, guys? So I kind of try to do content like this because it's very helpful to you guys, and I've seen in the past that y'all enjoy like different videos about digital distribution and all that stuff, but this one is more about presentation. A lot of people ask me, why do I do goofy thumbnails? And other people say that these thumbnails don't work, and guess what? They do work, and I'm going to prove that in this video, as well as show you some of my tools. So I'm going to get straight into the point. Let's go ahead and do that. So the first part, I'm going to do the case study here, and there is not a better example of a bad thumbnail than the recent video that I just did. Now, this content that I did, the Numark mixed track platinum effects, it hasn't been really covered that much, but I don't cover a lot of DJ controls, so I can chalk up a lot of the less views on that. But the reality of it is this thumbnail does not stick out. It's too dark. There's not enough information in it to where somebody's gonna see it with their own eyes. And if you go to the video right here, I know it's a free download Friday or whatnot, and that particular series is popular on my channel, but the views are way higher. Like, we got 5K views on that, and you see the thumbnail is goofy as hell. And you know, somebody said that this thumbnail isn't effective. Why you keep doing those thumbnails? Well, duh. That's why I do it. It's attention grabbing, and that's how your thumbnail's supposed to be. Like, it's supposed to be attention grabbing. Now we go over here to the how to layer drums fast and 1.3, and that was just a day before this one right here. So you can see that people were interested, but they weren't as interested as this right here, which has is telling a story. So your thumbnails tell a story here. I know I did a video about the Black Lives Matter thing, and you know that thumbnail wasn't gonna get it. I already knew that, but yeah. Over here, you see this free download Friday, another meme thumbnail, Scalar 2, which I mean that was a popular release, but that thumbnail caught everybody's eye. It's very unique. Same thing with this one right here, and so forth with the FL Studio one right here. Let me go and see if I can zoom in a little bit more. Yeah, and you can see that it's very effective. You can see that by the views. And if I go over here to the Behringer, yeah, it's the same story. Like, yeah, people like the meme thumbnails. It's thumbnail and title, always thumbnail and title, and then deliver with the content. Don't slack on the content. I'm saying that's not what I'm saying. Like, if you have a fire thumbnail, you can just have stupid content or badly edited content or anything like that. But thumbnails do matter, always have, and having light colors and stuff like that to have it stick out. Those are really huge things too as well. You can see a pattern in all my thumbnails here. Me just going like and that pretty much is a reaction to how I was in that video. So yeah, make sure that you understand the concept of thumbnails, and you'll get that. Let's go ahead and get into how I make them now. So now I'm loading my video editing software, which is Vegas Pro, and this is probably the best video editing software I've ever experienced, at least on Windows. So I'm letting it load up, and then I'm gonna do a screen capture, which is a really helpful tool to do that you can do in any video editing software that's worth it. So I'm gonna go over here. This is like an old project. Well, that's yesterday's project that I edited. And you know, what I'm gonna do here is just gonna pull up and go to import media in Vegas Pro, and then I'm gonna go over here into my OBS folder. And as you can see, I cut thousands of videos. Some of them just don't make it into the air. I'm gonna go and search for the recent video that I just did, which is this one right here. I'm working on it. I'm gonna pull down this media, and we're gonna search for that one picture here. I'm just gonna put no for now. You can see now we're gonna use this. Now the one thing I want you to focus on is that I always wear hats. I wear hats for a reason, and I try to wear clothes that stick out so it will be easy for me to edit and do these goofy type of pictures. So I'm gonna go ahead and go up here to this sign, and it says save snapshot to file. I have a different folder that's selected for that, and I'm gonna save it in here. Now I can just exit out. The next software I'm going to pull up is Affinity Photo. I don't do Photoshop because Photoshop does like a subscription, and this right here is just straightforward, the same thing as Photoshop, but you pay $50, and right now it's on sale. No, I don't know anybody at Affinity Photo, though I do like this tool, and you can get it in the Windows App Store on your PC or in the Apple App Store on your Mac. So I'm going to go over here to open, and I'm gonna go and search for a specific folder. What I do is I pin the folders that I use the most to my documents over here. So I'm gonna grab that image, and now you see me over here doing this goofy face. Now the main thing I do is very simple. I will explain more if you really want tutorials on Affinity Photo, which is a really dope software. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna access this tool over here, which is the erase brush tool. So I can erase brush, and if I had a plain or a green screen or just a flat out white background or whatever, I could go to an easier tool called background erase brush. But since I don't, and I gotta thug it out, I'm gonna go ahead and, oh, I shouldn't say that, but I'm gonna go ahead and start erasing. So I'm gonna do a quick time lapse, and I'm going to erase everything here so you can see it. I'm gonna continue to erase, do the best job as humanly possible. I also have this on my iPad too as well, so I can use the Apple Pencil, but I'm so used to the trackpad, I could just erase stuff, and I can zoom in and erase stuff and get it as close as humanly possible. I'm not really aiming for perfection because the emphasis is gonna be on the face here. So I'm gonna go ahead and also, you can adjust the tool itself. If I really want to erase backgrounds really fast or really big, I can just go ahead and go over here, adjust the tool, and I can just erase a vast majority of the background. I usually do this did last, but no, I'll do it here right now. Now that I have the background cut out and all that, you can see that I have my stupid expression right here. What I'm gonna do is just unlock this, because when I do a background over here, I'm gonna go over here to a different shape. It's called the rectangle tool, but you have different shapes over here, and they can be very useful because you can resize them and stretch them out, but that's for another video. So I'm gonna go ahead and just cover that up, and then I'm gonna change the arrangement of this. I'm gonna go over here to this tab on the right side, which is your layers tab, and then I'm gonna bring the rectangle down. Now what I'm gonna do is go to the effects tab, and from the effects tab I'm gonna select some stuff. So it says layer effects. I'm gonna go to gradients overlay, and this is where I apply some of the cooler stuff to that background. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use purple. It's good to use nice and loud colors, and purple is one of my favorite colors because it represents royalty, but that's another topic for another day in terms of culture. But yeah, I'm gonna go and just grab a yellow and click on this node right over here. You can change the different types of gradients that you use. You can choose eclectic and stuff like that, and they all have different effects to the background, but I'm gonna go and just stay normal. I can choose an angle too as well, or where I want the purple to come in. I'm gonna keep it at 0, but that's just one of the things I want to do. And as you can see, it's starting to pop a little bit now. There are some things I got to fix, of course. I'm gonna go to this layer over here. I'm gonna make this bigger because this expression, the better your expression on your face when you make these thumbnails. And as you can see, I zoomed out here. And reason why I zoom out like this is because I want to see how it might look like on like a iOS or your smartphone or something like that. And this is a good way to do it. But I'm going to go over here back to effects. I'm going to grab an effect called outer shadow. I'm going to change the angle to a different degree over here. I'm going to change it to this 225 degree, and I'm going to offset it. I'm going to use radius. Let me go ahead. I can actually see this live. So I'm going to go in this feed here. And then I'm gonna go into radius and apply that, and you can start seeing the shadow right here in the offset. I'm might change the radius just a little bit so I can get more of a real shadow effect. And as you can see, it's starting to pop, like the thumbnail's starting to pop, and I haven't added any text. The less text that you add, the more efficient your thumbnail. So I usually just put like a plugin or something like that on there and just let it rock. You know, you see all the great YouTube channels that do very well, they have great thumbnails. So that's just a quick tip here. So what I'm gonna do with this part right here is I'm gonna go ahead and do some color changes. So what I want to do as far as changing the color is I want to kind of build the blacks back. So there is a thing called auto level. Sometimes it is great, sometimes it's trash, but what I do is I just go to auto levels and see. So the colors are actually popping a little bit more. It's not necessarily the color I want my skin tone to look like, but yeah. But now for the meme culture, I'm gonna go back over here to filters. I'm gonna go to distort, and now with distort I can go into what you call pitch and punch. Now pitch and punch, you can aim where you want this particular effect to happen, and I'm gonna go over here and drag this tool over here, and you can see the pitch and punch right here. So if I was to go 90 or negative that, you can see how much it is affecting here. So it's not affecting much, but if I was to increase the radius, you're starting to see like the whole entire face change, and I can change the position of it too. And this right here, oh my god, this is gonna be the one right there. I can change the position of it, and I can have my mouth like really looking stupid, and you know, there's a couple of other things I could do. I can really reshape this to anything that I want. Let me go ahead and get a little closer in so y'all can see this. And now that I have that effect, I can just do whatever. And I'm gonna go back into shapes. I'm gonna pick a shape out and pick a rectangular shape, and I'm gonna make a little box, and we're gonna call that, I'm gonna show you, I'm gonna arrange it, I'm gonna put it behind my background. You gotta be careful not to put it inside of the background layer, because it will hyperimpose itself in there. You can stretch this shape out or whatnot. You can choose to recolor it over here. I'm gonna go to black, and since it's a contrast there we go, black. And last but not least, just add your text in there. Make sure that the text is obviously a color that you'll be able to see. You can change the font size, you can bold, you can change what font it is. I'm gonna go with Arial or whatever for right now, and then I'm just gonna type in whatever I need for the thumbnail. And you also can, you know, resize it. You also can just press like Control A, and you can either choose like center text. I think I'll go with center text. I'm gonna resize it here. Just use the nodes here to resize the actual text. To get a group, which would help with certain things like this, you would go over here, highlight both, you know, control, and then left click on what layer you want to select, and then go to group layers. Boom, and now they're in a group layer. So now I can go and go back into Arranger and align center, and align center is centered now. And you're pretty much done from there. You probably do some adjustments and stuff like that. Go and get your cursor tool, your move tool, and just to move stuff over and make sure everything is correct. And then just, I don't know, just stretch stuff out and make sure that you can read the text or whatnot at certain sizes. Go really big, really small. There we go. And from here, all you have to do is just go to File, Export. Make sure that you have a JPEG, because you know JPEGs files don't take as much, or you can go PNG, but I go JPEG because it doesn't take up that much memory. Then go to Export. I'm gonna export it to my desktop, and that's pretty much what you're gonna see as my thumbnail. Just type Dank thumbnail. Just let me know how you feel about this, if you really like it, and I will get back to you in another video.